What is the perfect Tex-Mex dish? In my opinion, it's the fajita. Fajitas are a great dinner for you and a group of people. They're easy to make and they taste great. I know a lot about fajitas because I've made them several times and I've researched the history of the fajita. Fajitas are a great Tex-Mex dish that was traditionally made with skirt steak. First, I'll talk about a brief history of the fajita. Next, I'll show you what you need to make them. And third, I'll show you how to make them. So let's talk about how they first were made. According to the chamber, fajita comes from the word faja, meaning belt, and ita, meaning small. That makes fajita meaning small belt, or we usually call it the skirt steak. Chamber also claimed that the fajita origin came from the 1930s on the Texas ranch lands of the Rio Grande Valley. Cattle roundups would butcher beef to feed the hands, and throwaway items such as the hide, the head, meat trimmings, and skirt were given to the Mexican cowboys as part of their pay. Now that you know a little bit about the history, let's get on to what you need to make them. First, for the ingredients, you will need meat. It's traditionally used with steak, or you can use chicken or pork, any substitute. I'm using pork because it was cheap. You'll need an onion, green and red bell peppers, corn or flour tortillas, seasoning, olive oil, and a spice or pepper if you would like. Next, for cooking tools, you will need a stovetop, 2 large frying pans, a small bowl, 2 larger bowls, 2 cutting boards, some knives, and tongs. So now that you know what is required to make them, let's get cooking. First, we're going to make the seasoning. In your smaller bowl, you will mix equal parts of garlic powder, oregano, cumin, smoked paprika, chipotle chili powder, and kosher salt. You have them all in the bowl. Just give it a good mix around with your hands and shake till it's well mixed. Look like that. Next, you'll take one of your cutting boards. Okay, next you grab one of your cutting boards with the meat on, and you will start to thinly slice your meat. If you can, cut across the grain because it will give you a more tender piece of meat. Okay, once you're done with cutting your meat, you will take one of your large bowls and throw your meat in. Next, you will want to take a little olive oil throw it in with the meat. And then mix it up with your hands. This helps the seasoning stick better. Then put in a majority of the seasoning, but not all, because we'll put some in with the vegetables later. You want it thoroughly mixed so every piece of meat is seasoned. If you're done mixing, you might want to wash your hands. Okay, we'll put this to the side and we'll start cutting the red and green peppers and onion. You'll throw that into your other large bowl. Set this aside. Do the same as with the meat. We'll throw some olive oil in. Mix it up a little bit. And then throw more seasoning in. Once you're done mixing, we can now get cooking. We'll start the stove. I put both pans on high. The meat should cook really quick. So you're gonna want to throw the vegetables in first and let them cook for a little bit longer. I'd make sure to throw some olive oil in with the pan as well. After the onions and peppers have cooked for a little bit, you can go ahead and throw your meat in. You want to hear a sizzle when you first hit the pan. You'll want to almost constantly be turning the meat to keep it from burning. You can add a little more seasoning while you're cooking too. Once the pork is almost done, you can throw it all into one pan. Once it's done, you take it off the heat and it's ready to serve. Take your tortilla. There's some meat. Now it's ready to eat. Very good. Now that I've shown you how to make them, you can make them yourself at home with a simple recipe. To wrap this up, I told you a brief history on how this Tex-Mex dish came to be, what ingredients and what you needed to make them, and finally I showed you how to make the fajitas. Now if you need to cook for a large number of people and you want to impress them with your amazing cooking skills, these fajitas are quick, easy, and delicious. And I would totally recommend them.